Welcome to another Nostalgia Strikes video, and today we find ourselves right next to a giant woman by the name of Jaina Proudmore. Why the hell is she so big? I have no idea, but we find ourselves in the battle for Mount Hyjal. Now I'm on my warrior, because I used to tank those as a warrior back in the day. And the only reason why I did Karazhan on my druid was because I was already locked out on my warrior. I already did Karazhan that week, so I had to pick a different tune. So today we're doing Battle for Mount Hyjal. It's a tier 6 raid from the Burning Crusade. And unlike Karazhan, which was a very popular raid, Mount Hyjal wasn't. Because it's not your normal everyday raid. It's not, you go in, you run through the raid, you kill all the dudes, and you're basically the aggressor. You're going up against these bosses and you are invading their property. Mount Hyjal is a defense-based raid, where you are tasked to defend a certain position from waves and waves of enemies. And the way it works is we're going to talk to Jaina. And I do believe 7 waves of enemies will come, and the 8th wave will be a boss. And our goal here is to not let Jaina die. So these enemies will try to kill various different NPCs. We will change locations. We will be doing 2 more locations. We'll be defending 2 more locations. And last we will kill Archmond. So let's talk to Jaina and let's start off this encounter. So hello there, giant Jaina. Let's start off the encounter. As you can see, invading enemies 10, current wave 1 out of 8. Now, one funny thing is, if you fail this event and these sorceresses died, they would actively ask for a res. So if they would die, they would just go, res? Question mark? All the time, so that was pretty funny. Now, this raid was famous for one thing. Well, first of all, people didn't like it because it was a defense-based raid instead of offense-based raid, but it was famous for thrash farming. As you can see, the mobs will run in through this gap in the wall. We have a bunch of NPCs that will help us defending, but here's the thing. You can farm the thrash, because what you can do, and what we did frequently, is you will go up to wave 7 and you will fail on wave 7 without killing the boss. So when you die, or when, the NPCs die, and when they get to Jaina and kill her, what will happen is the entire raid will reset. And you can go in and you can do those first 7 waves again. Now, these waves had really good drops. For instance, I think it was the Fist of Fury, or so, Claw of Fury. It was a fist weapon set. There was 2 weapons, and it was really good, or I don't know if it was really good, because one of them was really fast. It was basically good for shamans and classes that benefited from dual wielding. So on Wednesday and Thursday, we would go in if we had enough people, which we did, because we were a massive guild. We had like 100 people online at any given time. So we would go in with different raid groups, and we would just farm this encounter. We would come in, we would talk to Jaina, we would do the first 7 waves, then after that, when the final wave before the boss came in, we would hide behind that tower and we would let them kill Jaina, thus resetting the encounter and granting us another go on the first 6 waves or so. And this way we would farm loot for our dual wielding dudes, and we would farm crafting recipes, and we would farm Mark of the Illidari, Heart of Darkness. So we would have a paladin standing where I am standing right now, and I, as a warrior, would run in from time to time. I would taunt one of these big mobs, so either the Abominations or the Crypt Fiends, and I would run with them back here, which would pull the NPCs, and they would start attacking them. So that was the strategy we had there. We had mages hidden right here and right there, as well as warlocks and other classes that could do really good AoE DPS. And they would stand here with the paladin, and they would AoE down the weaker mobs. Now me, as a warrior, I would just taunt him up here. I would ram back down. I would pull those guys, so they would start attacking the dude. Then I would run to these knights. Those would pull as well. and maybe even up here, so these ranged dudes will pull as well. Now, with me, there were the other DPS that didn't have really good AoE, such as, enhancement shamans weren't really that great, and, classes like that. So, that would be that. So, I would pull them back here. The AoE classes would AoE with the paladin, and the more single target focused classes would just beat down the abominations one by one down here. So that was this encounter done. We are ready for whatever Anchemont might send our way, Lady Proudmoore. So it was a great thing, Hyjal, the battle for Mount Hyjal, such a historic event in the Warcraft universe, and you get to smack, Archimond around. You get him, you stop him from humping the world tree, you smack him a boot, and it was just amazing. I just loved this encounter. And the way it worked, for the paladin probably wasn't as much fun as it was for me, because he was literally just standing here spamming his AoE attacks to keep aggro, and I would just run back and forth, and I would taunt things off of him, and I would run them into the NPCs, then we would kill them, I would taunt another one, and it was really cool. I really liked it. It was something different. People were, they still are, saying that, it's all the same, man, it's just do this, do that, kill boss in arena, kill another boss in arena. And when Blizzard released something different, like Mount Hyjal, they just went, it's too different, I don't like it. So I never really understood that, and I loved Hyjal. I actually liked Hyjal more than I did, the Black Temple. Because even though it had Illidan, which was a major lore character, and it was a great villain as well, it was the same thing. It was like every other raid. You go in, you kill dudes, and then you kill last boss, and it's just done. Here it's just, you have to defend shit, because if you don't, they will die, and you lose. So it was really cool. It was really, really cool. It was kind of difficult in the beginning before people kind of started using strategy, because, people weren't really used to this kind of stuff. Usually it was just like, oh yeah, we need to kill a boss, do this, do that. But Thrash in here was actually really big part of the difficulty. And here comes Anethron, or whatever he's pronounced. I pronounce him Anethron. So let's smack him around the bops. There we go. Sword and board smack. Alright. Oh, it's easier on my druid. Maybe I should have went in as Fury. But no. What you got to do? Let's use some heroic strikes to smite down thy demon. There you go. Here comes the NPCs. There you go. And he did. Oh, Blade of Infamy. Yes, this is a really cool blade. And there we go. So that's us done with this part of the map. Now we move up here. So we help the Alliance. Now we're going to go and help Horde. Well, actually, instead of talking to Jaina, we're going to talk to Thrall in our next location. So until we meet again, Lady Proudmoore. So she's like, oh yeah, you can fuck off now. I'm going to do my thing. So we're going to go. Am I going the right way? I'm not going the right way. So one would think that you would go that way, but you're not going to go. Actually, let's go that way. Because you didn't have to wait here for the mobs. You could actually go out and fight them further on. Further out. So, many ghouls and abominations and zombies and things. Many undead things. Left side, even side. So, the undead are coming from here. And this is an undead base. Alright, it's off the map. You can't see it. But here's where the undead come from. Right here. As you can see, undead buildings and stuff. Very cool indeed. The undead architecture from Warcraft 3 is just amazing. I love the undead architecture from Warcraft 3. And by the way, I just realized there are these ancient gem veins. These would give you very rare gems that you couldn't get anywhere else. So for jewel crafting and for making the new gems, the more powerful gems, you would have to mine these ancient gem veins over here. Which is kind of a shame that Blizzard doesn't do this anymore. It's kind of a shame, you know, putting unique ores into raids and stuff. That was kind of a cool thing. So hello there, dear Thrall. This is before he went all Britney Spears and shaved his head. So let's talk to him. I'm with you, Thrall. Then let the Legion do their worst. Now, this part, I didn't like this part at all. First of all, I was disappointed that the trolls are headhunters instead of axe throwers. I was expecting a lot of axe throwers, but none of them here, so that was fairly disappointing for me at least. But the more annoying thing was the flying units. There was a bunch of flying shit in here, and that was really, really irritating. So the tactic here was pretty much the same, but we wouldn't farm here. Alright, this part was harder to farm than the first one, so we would farm the first part, not this part. Now, the tactic was pretty much the same. Paladin standing around here, just once again, spamming consecration all the time. And I would run back and forth, taunting the meteor mobs that couldn't be AoE'd down back into this pack, and I would do that all the time. Now, the problem with this part, or the part that I didn't like, was the flying units that are right there. You have gargoyles that come in from the side, so you have to defend two different fronts. Alright, so you have the melee dudes coming from there, and then you have gargoyles flying in from here. Now, this was a major pain in the arse for me. Alright, a major pain in the arse. So, I didn't really like that, because you had to come here and you had to taunt them, because when just ranged DPS came here, they would just shoot them down. And it was a pain in the ass to taunt those and to keep aggro on them. And I didn't have heroic throw, so I would stand here spamming my throw button, and that would be pretty much it, or spamming my shoot button as a warrior, and it was a major pain in the ass, so I didn't like this part at all. So, yeah, this was the one part I despised. I didn't like it at all, because of these fucking gargoyles. When I do this on my druid, it's fairly easy. I just run in, I press Starfall, and I win. But on my warrior, it's slightly more difficult, and I got stuck in a tree. Bloody hell. Trees and bushes, my mortal enemy. Jumpy, jumpy! Boom! Oh, I love heroic leap so much. That's one of the reasons why I still play a warrior from every now and then. Just heroic leap, it's just too much fun. Alright. I'll get some Undead Scourge. No gargoyles on this wave, I think. I think you get gargoyles every other wave. Maybe. It's been a long bloody time. It has been a long bloody time. Ugh. Oh man, oh boy. Oh dear, oh boy, I hate gargoyles. Come here. Spam, spam, spam. This wave would be particularly difficult because they had this. Damaging nearby enemies every 3 seconds. That would actually hurt quite a bit. So that was fairly challenging to deal with, and that is also why I taunted them one by one with another warrior that did the same thing, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that. We had 2 warriors doing this, because the paladin would otherwise die because they just did too much damage. So we had 2 warriors taunting all the time. More fucking gargoyles. Now they start coming from this direction as well, and they will start attacking Thrall, as you can see right there. That's one of those douchebags. And during this raid, you would have an add-on that would shout at you when either Thrall or Jaina were under attack. So when these fucking gargoyles came in, the add-on would just go bidding, tiling, tiling, Thrall is under attack, tiling, 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 ching, ching. It was the most annoying fucking thing. But it was a fairly important add-on, because sometimes an enemy snuck through and you had to go back and heal either Thrall or Jaina. So you would constantly hear this ka-ting, 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 Thrall is under attack, ka-ting, ka-ting. Ah, and here we go, the frost worms as well, which were annoying as fuck also. Because, yay, can't melee attack. Yeah, it's really irritating to do this as a full-on melee class. And there we go. Gazrogal. A beautiful sword that was desired by every melee that was using two-handed swords, so warriors and paladins, I do believe. This was a very cool looking sword, and I hope we get it because I would like to have it on my warrior actually. Let's do some heroic strikes as well. And there you go. This one was very easy. As you can see, all he did was this, which is cripple, and he would stomp about. That was pretty much it. He was really easy. The difficult thing, I think why people didn't quite like Hyjal was because, what is going on? I'm getting some weird frame rate issues. It was because the thrash was fairly difficult to deal with, but once you got to a boss, it was just like, yeah, this is a boss, it's kind of shit. So yeah, try to kill it, please. So I know what it is. My hard drive is getting full, so that's pretty much all you're getting, I guess. I can't record anymore. I have about 10 gigs left on my hard drive, and that is not a good thing. I have too much footage, need to make it into video. So yeah, I thank you all for watching. I'm sorry that I can't record more, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Worry not, viewers, you've probably figured out from the title this is only part 1, but once I get enough hard drive space to film part 2, there will be a part 2. I'll also include Malhazar from Karazhan, so I'll kind of wrap up both of those videos. But for now, I just don't have the hard drive space, so I'm sorry. But I hope you liked the video, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.